morning to every one of you. Selamat pagi, salam perpaduan, salam sejahtera, and thank you so much for joining us in this 20 years of our Friendship Group for Interreligious Service, or FGIS celebration. This is our 20th anniversary, and this entire program is dedicated to the friendship between the 5 members of 5 religious groups, which are the Angkatan Belia Islam Malaysia representing Islam, the Council of Churches Wilayah representing the Christianity, Malaysian Gurudwarah Council, Malaysian Hindu Sangam, and the Buddhist Vihara. So all the members are here today, and we are very, very happy to be sharing our experiences, and we look forward to this beautiful session. We ask you all to just enjoy and get glimpses and flashes of our beautiful friendship that we have enjoyed for 20 tahun. Bukan 1 tahun, bukan 2 tahun, bukan 5 tahun, bukan 10 tahun, tapi 20 tahun, 20 years. Fahmi, that's a very, very long journey, Fahmi. What do you think?
Okay, Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi, salam sejahtera saya ucapkan kepada semua. Apa khabar, Prof? Sihat?
Sihat.
Dan juga kami lalukan kehadiran teman-teman rakan-rakan daripada seluruh Malaysia. Hari ini juga saya difahamkan ada juga rakan-rakan kita daripada luar negara yang mengikuti perbincangan kita pada pagi ini. Jadi ini adalah juga model Malaysia. Model Malaysia dalam erti kata perpaduan yang sebenar yang kita akan pertontonkan kepada anda semua melalui platform Friendship Group of Interreligious Services ataupun persahabatan khidmat antara agama. Jadi tuan-tuan dan puan boleh share, boleh like dan juga boleh berikan komentar ataupun berikan kata-kata motivasi, kata-kata semangat kepada kami untuk kita teruskan supaya ianya tidak hanya terhenti untuk 20 tahun tapi boleh berterusan sehingga 50 tahun, sehingga 100 tahun barangkali. Jadi pada pagi ini kita akan kongsikan kepada anda, kita akan sajikan dengan pelbagai program dan inisiatif yang telah kami gerakkan di FGIS. Tapi sebelum tu kita sama-sama terlebih dahulu menghadiahkan bacaan Al-Fatihah, dan juga untuk masing-masing agama mungkin kita boleh doakan. Kita hadiahkan ini kepada mereka yang telah pergi, yang telah meninggalkan kita, terutamanya dalam keadaan negara kita masih lagi terkesan akibat daripada COVID-19, dan juga generasi para pendahulu yang telah menggerakkan FGIS. Jadi moment of silence, 1 minit kita berikan kepada semua. Hadirin-hadirat yang saya muliakan, saya akan berikan dulu kepada Profesor Dr. Suraj. Saya akan bersama-sama dengan Profesor Suraj pada pagi ini sebagai host anda untuk kita bincangkan dan kita interaksi antara satu sama lain. Saya berikan dulu kepada Profesor Suraj pengenalan berkaitan dengan FGIS. Dipersilakan, Profesor.
Yes. Thank you, Fahmi. Thank you so much. And so, as an introduction, let me just explain to you a little bit about what is this whole Friendship Group for Interreligious Service. So, can we have the slides? The first batch of slides for introduction. Today, we also have many friends of us from overseas who will also be linking in. So, that's why we are mixing the language so that everybody understands the concept of what we are trying to do. So, slides on the first ones, and we can. Pendahuluan. Slide pendahuluan. Yes. Okay. Yes, carry on.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Muhammad Faisal Abdul Aziz daripada ABIM ingin mengucapkan selamat menyambut 20 tahun FGIS. 20 tahun yang penuh dengan warna-warni, aktiviti memupuk perpaduan dan persefahaman antara kaum di seluruh negara. Ayuh bersama kita bina negara yang lebih baik dengan semangat bangsa Malaysia.
Salam sejahtera. Dear friends, dear colleagues from the Friendship Group for Interreligious Service and all the religious leaders and others who are listening to this, this is the 20th anniversary of the Friendship Group for Interreligious Service. So this was the origin of this, how Friendship Group started, and at this anniversary event, what better chance for us to explain what we have done, something useful, hopefully for the world. Hopefully the others also now will follow up the example of the friendship group. Okay, now with COVID, no one can do anything. But once COVID is over, all can get together again and start doing the programs that will bring people together in love and harmony. So this is our idea, and we hope that everybody listening to this will volunteer to join the friendship group and work with their own religions. Don't split. Work with your own respective religions and join this friendship group and work together to create a beautiful, shall we say, harmony in Malaysia, a harmony of love and unity. Thank you very much. God bless all of you.
On behalf of the Council of Churches of Malaysia, Wilayah Persekutuan and Selangor, as well as the Orthodox Syrian Church in Malaysia, I wish to congratulate FGIS on its 20-year journey in time. Our programs and our thrusts have always been the unity of all religions and faith, and our thrusts have always emphasized the Malaysianness in our community, that we are a Bangsa Malaysia. And I'm sure that FGIS have been a pioneer in this, and our continued expression will bear much fruit in bringing forth a Bangsa Malaysia in the future. Thank you.
Brothers and sisters, the unity is noble one. Unity make each and every one of us perfect human being. The Malaysian people, especially for Malaysian, this noble message maintained generation by generation. The important each and every one of us to continue such a noble things. Among all the races, many diversity, but maintain very strong unity. I hope, I believe strongly, each and every one of you, the valuable, the spirit had to maintain many more years to come. My humble appeal to all of you, and also is maintaining, is a happy, continue better and better. May all of you be well and happy. Thank you.
Salam sejahtera dan Sukihoto. My heartiest congratulations to FGIS on your 20th anniversary celebrations from Buddhist Missionary Society Malaysia, BMSM. BMSM has had the great privilege to be part of FGIS and working in partnership with all member organizations of diverse religious background for the past 20 years in our shared common cause. Truly rejoiced with FGIS meaningful and fruitful 20 years of accomplishment and success in interfaith services. Syabas FGIS. Sadu, sadu, sadu.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Saya Jufitri bin Johar, Presiden Majlis Belia Malaysia. Di kesempatan ini, saya ingin merakamkan ucapan syabas dan tahniah kepada Friendship Group for Interreligious Service ataupun FGIS atas sambutan ulang tahun yang ke-20. Saya mendoakan agar FGIS terus memainkan peranan penting di persada nasional untuk memupuk perpaduan dan persefahaman di antara penganut agama. Saya mengharapkan agar perpaduan di Malaysia akan terus mekar dan berkembang dan Malaysia menjadi sebuah masyarakat majmuk yang maju dan memainkan peranan di persada antarabangsa. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So, thank you. That was so wonderful to hear all the wonderful greetings. Also, greetings from Yayasan Perpaduan Malaysia, who is also an NGO dedicated to the promotion of unity. So that's also another. And we have got some of the supporters at the back. The logos are there. So all our people who continuously support us for our various activities. So today I just want to very briefly touch on the genesis of how we began this journey. Can we just go back to those slides? Yes. So this is the Friendship Group for Interreligious Service, started 20 years ago. The objective is just for informal group of religious groups of people just to come together and be friends and do work or do service and provide service activities in the name of their respective religion, but we do it in the sake of for promoting harmony. Okay. So this is an informal group, and we have got 5 different groups here in our FGIS group, and they are, next slide. So representing Islam is Angkatan Belia Islam Malaysia, an amazing friendly, very, very friendly group of people whom we have interacted with for the last 20 years. And this is in fact the platform that we are using is itself is ABIM's platform, and we are so very grateful that they are a major part of our group. Then the Council of Churches, Wilayah, Father Philip Thomas, you just heard Father Philip Thomas. The president of ABIM is Faisal, who just spoke just now, Saudara Faisal. And Majlis Gurudwara Council, Hindu Sangam, and we also represented by the Malaysian Hindu Sewa Sangam as well, and the Buddhist Vihara. So all our religious leaders in the were the founding fathers, founded by Brother Dato' Jagadisan in the initial days, and then subsequently the younger generation has now come forward to take forward these ideas. The secretariat for this FGIS is the Satisai International Organization Malaysia, who has been coordinating and helping to make sure that the activities go through. So this is the friendship. This is the way in which we have been functioning. And initially what they do is that initially in the years, one of the organization will take lead in a project and all the other organizations will support. Then subsequently, and when another project comes in, then we give it to another leader to take charge, and then the other leaders support this leader. So in this way, we share responsibility, and inclusivity is the main theme of the main name of the game, so that in order for all the projects to have run smoothly. Encik Sharan Kasim was one of the founding members in representing Angkatan Islam. The late Venerable Dhammananda, a very strong pillar of the Buddhist force. Father Philip Thomas, representing Council of Churches. Dr. Jaga, the founding member, representing Satisai International Organization, and one of his brainchild who created this entire thing, and we are very grateful for that purpose. And the late Mr. Sangat Singh, who was a very, very strong member as well. Dato' Waitalingam, who at that time was the president of Hindu Sangam, and Dr. John Gurusamy. So this is the group of people who were the founding pengasas, they call it, the founding members of the, and we had so much fun. We always used to come for meetings, and we'll always see them how the whole idea of FGIS is to just do good, respect parents, follow the principles of your respective religions, and working together for a better cause, and especially for developing a caring society and nation building activities for unity and love. And especially to understand each other, understand each other's culture, understand each other's religious tenets. So this is what we have done so far in the last 20 years. Next. Yeah, so this is how we have done. So this is what happens now. Sometimes certain issues become very big. So we in many occasions, we also release press releases to, instead of pouring fire, we pour water and see, never mind, doesn't matter. We try and manage perceptions and give a kind of a balanced view on many of the things that we have. All we want to see is more light than more heat in many of these situations. Next. Yeah, so I think that's how the Pandala. Next slide. Yeah, so this is what we do, and this is that's it. So this is what we have done so far. This is just a gist in a very nutshell. Of course, we can go on explaining about how we did it, but that's not what it is. And then we just pass on, and we have our meetings in regular places in different religious houses where all the leaders will come together, and then we form the activity. Now we got a very good, strong youth wing as well under the FGIS, where the youth leaders from the respective religious group becomes a part. So today you will see some of these youth leaders making their presentations in their own manner, in their own way, highlighting the activities that we are doing. Okay. That's it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Fahmi.
Terima kasih Prof. Sebagai permulaan, Prof dan saya nanti kita akan sama-sama untuk co-moderate dan kita akan jadikan sebagai host sebab kita tak nak nanti hari Sabtu ni hari yang orang nak santai.
Ya.
Kita dah bekerja daripada hari Isnin sampai Jumaat. Hari ni nak datang dengar lagi program seminar ni. Bukan seminar.
Betul.
Ini juga bukan program. Tetapi ini merupakan sambutan kita secara bersama.
Ya.
Sebab tu hari ni hari Sabtu, kalau semalam saya pakai baju Melayu juga, hari ni saya pakai baju Melayu juga Prof. Tapi baju Melayu yang saya pakai ni baju warna biru tua Prof. Apa maksud biru tua? Kalau kita boleh dekatkan ataupun kita kaitkan dengan bendera dalam negara kita.
Oh, biru tua melambangkan perpaduan, Fahmi. Melambangkan perpaduan. Okay, question asked is, why biru? Why biru should melambangkan perpaduan? Sebab awan, the color of sky is blue. Color of sea is blue. Sky color, sea color, blue represents infinity. Blue represents tidak ada batasan. Jadi perpaduan yang there's no barrier. We just love unconditionally everybody. That is what the spirit of it, and only that can create a beautiful Malaysia.
Memang analogi yang orang-orang falsafah ni. Tapi ni profesor ni doktor pakar perubatan ataupun pakar parasit ataupun usus nampak dia prof itu. Tapi maksudnya mengenali prof, saya ingat daripada awal saya kenal sampai sekarang ni memang seorang yang saya rasa multi talented, versatile juga, serius pada masa sama juga, kelakar. Memang menarik lah. Maksudnya biru tua ni memang kita kata melambangkan perpaduan rakyat Malaysia yang berbilang kaum, yang bersatu padu dalam usaha kita untuk memajukan pembangunan dalam negara kita sama dalam ekonomi, sosial dan sebagainya. Jadi tuan-tuan yang saya hormati sekalian, sekali lagi saya sebutkan bahawa ini adalah merupakan sambutan ke-20 tahun Kumpulan Persahabatan Khidmat Antara Agama ataupun FGIS. Jadi boleh berikan komentar, ucapan tahniah ataupun share maklumat ini. Program kita pada pagi ini kita akan kongsikan kepada 5 agenda. Jadi ada 5 tokoh-tokoh kita, wakil-wakil daripada pelbagai agama untuk berkongsikan kepada anda semua tentang peranan yang kita sedang mainkan ketika ini. Khusus dalam 20 tahun tu apa yang kita dah buat. Jadi kita akan cuba untuk masukkan 20 tahun punya pengalaman tu dalam 1 jam mungkin barangkali program kita pada hari ini. Jadi kita akan mulakan terlebih dahulu. Saya akan jemput saudara Muhammad Faisal Abdul Aziz yang merupakan Presiden Angkatan Belia Islam Malaysia ABIM untuk memberikan kita sedikit perkongsian dan pencerahan berkaitan dengan apa program-program khidmat yang disebutkan. Sebab FGIS tu dalam translationnya Friendship Group of Intelligence, kumpulan persahabatan khidmat antara agama. Jadi apa yang dimaksudkan dengan khidmat tu? Jadi saya dengan ini mempersilakan saudara Muhammad Faisal Abdul Aziz.
So Saudara Faisal is going to speak about the service activities carried out in the last 20 years, how between the various groups and what kind of service activities have been carried out. And Saudara Faisal is going to highlight this. And this session, by the way, is not going to be a dialogue or a talk, but it's going to be sembang. We're just going to have like a tea session where people can throw in ideas and capture those experiences. We want to make this as informal as possible. Okay, Faisal.
Terima kasih Prof. Suresh, Saudara Fahmi. Salam Sabtu, selamat hari Sabtu. Salam perpaduan kepada semua yang mendengar. Almaklumlah, saya ingat hari Sabtu yang penuh mencabar. Apalagi kita semalam kita menerima berita duka kekalahan Malaysia di tangan Vietnam 2-1. Tapi tak apa, kita teruskan perjuangan. Yang penting semangat perpaduan melalui sukan itu yang perlu kita garapkan, yang perlu kita bawakan. Saya juga ingin maklalukan our founding members, Brother Syahran Kasim dan juga Jufitri, orang yang juga daripada ABIM yang berkhidmat lama dengan FGIS, dan juga founding members daripada agama-agama lain. Kerana kita appreciate Datuk Jaga dan juga semua pada members yang memulakan, merintis gabungan ataupun inisiatif ini. Baik, saya diamanahkan untuk kongsi sikit, tapi dalam bentuk santai. Fahmi sebut perlu dikongsi selama 20 tahun. Jadi kalau sebut 20 tahun, saya boleh prepare slide mungkin dalam 2000 slide, tapi kita kena compresskan menjadi slide yang mungkin dalam 15 minit. Untuk kita memilih perkara-perkara yang penting. Okay, next. Services ataupun khidmat ya. Next. Bila sebut tentang servis, FGIS antara core utama yang kita buat ialah tentang berkaitan dengan healthcare. Saya nak sebut we have to bear in mind, FGIS adalah satu gabungan yang bersifat solution driven. We are the solution driven coalition of interreligious initiative. Maksudnya apabila kita sebut tentang unity, it's not about theoretically speaking about of unity, tapi apa yang practical yang boleh kita buat untuk memastikan we serve the people. So saya boleh sebut FGIS ni sepanjang 20 tahun dia macam hero. Mungkin terpulanglah nak letak Spiderman ke Batman ke. Maksudnya when there is a need, FGIS is there. FGIS serve the people dalam banyak segmen-segmen untuk memberi bantuan atas semangat perpaduan antara agama bersama-sama untuk membina Malaysia yang lebih baik. Baik, ini program tentang healthcare bersama dengan Dr. Sri Khalid Yunus, bekas Timbalan Menteri. Kita ada camp ini contoh program-program camp yang kita buat bersama dengan rakan-rakan FGIS. Lagi next. Dan camp ni banyak dihadiri oleh rakan-rakan our founding members. Jadi mungkin sementara boleh next, saya nak jemput our brother Syaran Kasim, boleh jump in sikit untuk kongsi sikit pengalaman dalam bidang services. Kemudian saya lalukan mungkin Prof. Suresh untuk kita bawa perbincangan inilah. Saya lalukan dulu Brother Syaran Kasim untuk bagi 1 minit pandangan juga tentang services FGIS.
Brother Syaran ada.
Thank you.
Lama. Tadi gambar muda.
Thank you so much, Brother Faisal. My dear Prof. Suresh, Brother Fahmi. 1 minute will be too difficult for me because so many people that I'm so loved, so respected. Of course, our Sifu, our Tuan Guru, our boss Datuk Jega, who has been instrumental in this effort since early 2000. Without him, we will not go this far. And I have to mention other friends like the late Dr. John Guru Sami, our dear brother Sangat Singh, and of course our Reverend, our current Reverend Damananda now, who are these people who are supporting us. Looking at this picture of this iCare, in fact, I personally benefited from this activity. It was held in Bahau, actually, in my hometown. So my mom went there as other people, and then she was selected to come to Tun Hussein On Hospital in PJ to do her cataract. And it costs around 2,000 ringgit if you have to pay it, but everything is gratis, is free. So thank you so much, FGS, for doing this thing. Let me just say in few seconds that khidmat, or in Arabic we call it amal. In our Islamic terminology, there is no faith without amal. There is no iman without amal. So khidmat is very important, is a golden word. I have to mention one more person, is Sister Jaria. She is also instrumental in our early days. Thank you so much again, Brother Faisal, for giving us the opportunity. We hope this effort will continue, not only next 20 years, but also next 200 years, inshallah. Thank you. Inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brother Sharan. Our family members from ABIM have been involving with FGIS, very colourful activities of FGIS. Kemudian next slide. Mungkin juga saya alukan kalau generasi awal ini program tahun 2002, kalau tak silap, kalau boleh jump in untuk kita share sikit momen-momen FGIS tentang services bersama masyarakat.
Shift the slides. Next slide.
Next slide.
This is the one day for the handicap, blood donation.
Okay, sebelum tu, yes, kita nak terangkan juga bila kita buat services, dia bukan concentrated. Our services program is not just concentrated at the Klang Valley, at the urban area, but also involving all segments of society, dan juga melibatkan the grassroots or state levels. Ini contoh. These are the examples. Program ABIM Johor bersama dengan FGIS, kita buat program blood donation and organ pledge, kempen derma darah dan juga organ di peringkat negeri, di peringkat akad Rombi. So ini menunjukkan bahawa khidmat FGIS ini bukannya tertumpu di KL ataupun tertumpu di Lembah Kelang, tetapi juga kita bawa di seluruh negara supaya seluruh masyarakat mendapat manfaat tentang services yang kita buat. Saya silakan kalau mungkin Prof. Suresh ataupun
Faizal, earlier days when they organized the medical camp, they took the doctors and specialists. This was Dato' Jaga's idea. He said, don't put your name, but put your badge of the religion. So the name will be a small name, but the religion will be badge like Islam or Christian or Muslim, Buddhist or Hindu. That badge will be stuck on the doctors, you see. So the residents and the community that they are being served will see these doctors coming from various religious groups. So, jadi bukan saja kita bagi perkhidmatan, tapi we also give an opportunity that the people are seeing that they are being treated from people from various religious groups. So this is also another pendekatan yang kita bawa kepada orang di awam, that unity is a very important concept. So this was done during the medical camps. Yeah. Specialists, we took all the specialists to the various rural areas that time of those days. Yeah, okay. Next one.
Thank you, Prof. Atas penjelasan tersebut. Jadi ini contoh, kita nak tunjuk bila kita turun ke masyarakat, doctors multi-faith background datang untuk memberi khidmat kepada masyarakat. Jadi bila kita sebut tentang khidmat, dia bukannya khidmat datang daripada satu agama kepada agama yang sama, tetapi merentas. Maksudnya doktor Muslim juga membantu pesakit yang bukan Muslim. Doktor daripada agama lain juga membantu doktor Muslim, membantu pesakit Muslim. Jadi ini kita nak tunjukkan bagaimana pentingnya persefahaman dan perpaduan. Dan bila kita sebut tentang khidmat, when we talk about services, it is colorblind. Dia tidak ada batasan based on religion ataupun races dan sebagainya. Kemudian next, sebelum next kalau boleh slide. Okay, kita nak terangkan juga selain daripada healthcare, kita juga bersama FGIS kita buat program-program kempen tentang environment. Contoh pada 11 of March sempena International Green Faith Day atas tema Sacred People, Sacred Action of Day, Sacred Earth Day of Action. Kita ada buat kempen. Kita plan nak buat kempen secara physical. Actually we intended to have physical program, tapi due to pandemic, so we organized or we held this program through online platform. So ini penting, kita nak memupuk persefahaman dan kita lancarkan campaign Destroying the Earth is Against My Religion. We launch the campaign Destroying the Earth is Against My Religion. Penting untuk kita bagi tahu kepada masyarakat, FGIS juga bukan service, bukan kita serve untuk people, tapi kita serve untuk bumi. The services initiated by FGIS is not only for the human mankind, but also to serve the environment as well. So ini contoh yang kita buat kempen yang bersama atas nama Malaysia Interfaith Climate Change Network, MICCN dan juga FGIS sendiri. Kita nak memberi penekanan kepada masyarakat Malaysia, semua agama menolak pemusnahan alam sekitar. Jadi next.
So Faizal, there's one important concept here is that we didn't focus on the differences. We focused on what we can unify. So environment is a very unifying thing. So that's what we all agree to move towards environment and help. So in a way, we bring diverse people together to focus on a common objective like environment. So that's what that's nice, very nice, Faizal. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof. So we focus on what can unite us. So our common agenda, our shared agenda, our shared Malaysian society yang kita nak for the future. Jadi ini contoh planting of trees. Ini kita buat sebelum COVID lah. Hari ini memang kawan-kawan FGIS semua gairah untuk menanam pokok secara program mass, tapi kita mematuhi SOP. Kita tidak boleh bertemu. InsyaAllah mungkin di masa mendatang kita akan buat program-program sebegini lagi untuk menanam pokok, untuk kita menunjukkan caring of environment dan juga to save the planet. Okay, kemudian next. Ini contoh-contoh gambar, gambar-gambar kita antara agama. Next. Okay, ini program fund day kita dengan suci international organisation. Jadi kita ada video juga program Fandi with Handicap. Saya ingat mungkin juga rakan-rakan our senior lah, otak-otak Datuk Jega, Prof Suresh, mungkin Brother Syar dan juga Brother Jufitri mungkin boleh ulas tentang program kita ini. Next. Okey, ni video saya minta izin untuk mainkan video kejap sempena program FGIS dan Suci with Handicap Fandi. Boleh play sekejap.
As such, 6 major religious groups comprising of Islamic outreach, Buddhist Mahavihara, Hindus, Catholics, Christians, Malaysian Gurdwaras and followers of Sai Baba join hands to organize this very special fun day on 17th August 2003 for our extra special children, that is, handicapped and underprivileged children in conjunction with Merdeka Day.
Understanding people, we get together. We want to contribute our service to the needy people, underprivileged people.
The most important thing is that when the day is over, all the religions took part, the Hindu, the Muslim, the Buddhist, all must say, hey, we had a good time. I work with the Buddhists, I'm a Muslim, but I work with the Buddhist and the Hindu. I enjoyed myself, you know. And the Hindu must say, hey, I work with the Muslim, I enjoy it. That means I can work with everybody, you know, using my religion in front, not hiding my religion, you know. And then we must say, religion can promote unity, happiness among all people.
Pertamanya saya rasa sungguh gembira. I'm very happy to see all the faces, especially the children. And same time, saya belajar banyak perkara di sini. Macam mana kita bersama, pelbagai bangsa, agama, kita bersatu hati, menyelesaikan banyak perkara yang bersangkutan dengan program. Dan ini memberi kesan yang amat baik pada masa depan kita dari segi bergabung dan bekerjasama dalam banyak hal selepas ini.
Okay, next slide. Okay, ini yang paling penting, antara yang paling penting waktu tahun 2015 kita ada banjir besar di pantai timur, eastern coast of Malaysia, di Kelantan terutamanya lah. Jadi ini contoh bagaimana FGIS, regardless of races, all religious leaders come together, we share our funds, we share our activities untuk kita have concerted effort to help the victim of the flood, major flood in Kelantan or the eastern coast of Malaysia. So ini contoh gambar-gambar. Kita ada Tan Sri Pakim waktu itu mewakili agama Kristian. Kita ada juga kawan-kawan kita Jacob, Datuk Jega dan juga kawan-kawan pelbagai agama yang datang daripada KL dan juga datang daripada Kelantan sendiri. Kita punya representatif daripada pelbagai agama yang datang daripada negeri Kelantan untuk kita hantar bantuan. Next.
Waktu ni Faisal, saya sekadar tambahan.
Ya boleh silakan.
Waktu ni adalah
ni gambar Jacob pengalaman naik sampan Okey, Fahmi.
Program ni semasa Ramadan. Program ni semasa Ramadan. Maksudnya kita waktu tu berpuasa dan kawan-kawan kita yang hadir sama pada waktu itu juga respect. Maksudnya kita punya ialah semua orang berpuasa, semua orang penat. Masing-masing saya rasa hadir waktu tu daripada KL, saya ingat lagi. Saya call Jacob, Jacob apa boleh bawa? Dia kata kami ada 40 periuk nasi. Bawa je lah 40 periuk nasi. Satu kereta penuh dengan periuk nasi. Jadi waktu tu memang kita bukan saja daripada pagi, petang, kita cat rumah, bersihkan rumah. Malamnya tu sewaktu buka puasa, ramai-ramai kita buka puasa bersama dengan mangsa-mangsa banjir yang terkesan di Kuala Krai.
Wow. Jacob boleh share sikit Jacob pengalaman?
Boleh. Ni saya nampak ni, saya tengah duduk dalam boat. Yeah, okay. So I still remember this 2015 event where we went to Kelantan. We drove there personally, a few of us, and then we helped those affected by the flood. We helped them to distribute rice bags and also some cash to those who are needy. And it was a very nice experience. I never been to Kelantan. First time, nice people. I enjoyed myself there. Yeah, Faizal?
Okay, Jacob.
I would like to share also.
Yeah,
Okay, it was a very deep memory. Yeah. So think at that time, yeah, we went there and masa kita hulurkan bantuan kita beras, barang keperluan semua, saya nampak ramai penerima yang menangis walaupun jadi kita tahu melalui servis-servis ni kita dapat tanpa mengira kaum kita semua dalam bergerak bersama dan ramai pemimpin agama bersama kita juga dan itu pun salah satu selain servis-servis yang kita menghulur bantuan, kita juga buat servis untuk membaik pulih kawasan kampung. Kita masuk, kita naik bot tu sebenarnya nak menyeberangi sungai dan kita pergi ke sebuah kampung, ada yang mengecat, ada yang cuba membagi barang-barang. Saya masih ingat lagi saya pergi dengan baju putih tetapi waktu malam, waktu berbuka tu baju saya dah kotor. Tapi memang seronok dan waktu itu kita buka puasa bersama juga YB Adun Kuala Krai dan kita duduk bersama. Kalau tak silap saya masih ingat malam tu Venerable Saranangkara kata dia nak taja untuk makan malam untuk buka puasa malam itu. Dan masa kita balik pun seronok, kami singgah dekat Kuala Terengganu. Ingat tak Sunil, Jacob? Kita nak kereta, kami singgah dekat Masjid Kristal Kuala Terengganu. Itu saja itu memang satu pengalaman yang tidak dapat saya lupai. Itu dia. Terima kasih.
Tambah satu lagi, Fahmi masih ingat tak kita naik motor? 4 orang kita naik motor, 2 motor, lepas tu kita ke rumah yang jauh di pedalaman.
Dalam estate, dalam ni, dalam
estate lah, ya.
Oi, waktu tu memang real lah. Saya boleh cerita ni dia jadi meremang.
No, but the main thing is all of them went and served and all that. How is the spirit of that serving and spirit of giving something to people, regardless of race and religion? One by us doing it together, and the other people. I mean, it was no batasan, no barrier. What was that feeling? That was what we want. You see, basically, this is the kind of feeling that I think Bangsa Malaysia we want to create, isn't it, Fahmi?
True enough. Basically, when we discuss and when we talk, theoretically, of course, we can understand. But practically, this one is different.
Yeah.
Ini pengalaman yang kita tak akan dapat dalam kuliah, tak akan dapat kalau you baca buku, tak akan dapat kalau kita hanya dengar talk. Tapi bila kita buat, kita walk the talk, itu yang saya rasa pengalaman hidup yang akan mengajar kita.
Itu pasal Fahmi, because saya pun sebagai profesor and all these things, saya dengar kertas-kertas ilmiah cakap pasal konsep dan sebagainya. I think the practical experience that we have been subjected to for the past 20 years is the real Bangsa Malaysia yang from an experience. So no one can take the experience of this unity from our hearts, you see. So the whole idea is sometimes we become too conceptual, we don't know what we're talking about. I think we need to experience this, and I think everybody should go through this experience. Yes, semangat persaudaraan. I think that is what we need to do, isn't it, Jacob? Don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely, Prof. It's experience of interacting with the others. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can I say a few words? Yeah,
please, sir.
Please.
This what I must share with all of you. Not only were we very happy, we who went from Malaysia, from Kuala Lumpur, late at night, I remember we were all parked in the Buddhist Mahavihara somewhere, the building in Brickfields. Then we all got together in the bus and drove all the way to the East Coast. But what was most delightful was the happiness we saw in the people we were serving. Not only were we happy, But the people we served were so happy, they were in tears that we have taken all the trouble to come all the way from Kuala Lumpur, and the Indians, Chinese, Malays, Sikhs. That was for me the most striking thing, to see the happiness of others in the service we are doing. Normally, we also see a lot of happiness, but this is unusual because the people in the East Coast have never experienced such a force coming from the West Coast to the East Coast, all multiracial.
I still remember you celebrate your wife's birthday or your
Thank you for reminding. That's right. I celebrated my wife's birthday when I was there. So anyway, I didn't celebrate with the villagers there because wife could not come. But that was a very joyful occasion. And that is something that we like to continue to show. The service we do, but not only make us happy, but make the people we are serving also happy. That is
Sunil, you want to say something?
Yeah. So I think one of the most memorable things, just to add on to what Dr. Jega said and Prof said and the rest of you said, right, was the part, if you all remember, we actually drove in with cars breaking down because the four-wheel drives also couldn't go through the floods, which were, waist high and all that. And eventually, the first night, we actually had to sleep, right, in the Pengkarangan near the temple area, right? We all squeezed and up. Then second day, we went to the further interiors. We slept in this small little, surau, which was totally robot and hancho, and we all slept so close to one another and all that. And it was such a beautiful sight to sit and observe, right, the love of the people in Kelantan. When they did not have anything, they actually put in so much of effort and love to cook simple rice with cauliflowers and, cabbage and salt. And I remember, I think 1 or 2 hours were a little bit creative, and we took out the Maggi packets and started putting the Maggi powder to spice it up and all that. I think the beauty of, having everybody come together during the crisis and that spirit of persaudaraan that we are talking about was so beautiful and was at its heights when we experienced this disaster. So I think that was a very beautiful memory of us, putting up 2 nights, 3 days and trying to serve the people there.
Fantastic, Sunil.
Back to Faisal. Faisal banyak lagi nak cerita tu. Faisal ada masa tu. Faisal sebagai Setiausaha Agung ABIM.
Ya, betul.
Pada waktu itu. Sekarang sudah jadi Presiden ABIM.
Waktu tu saya ingat Prof Datuk Jega dia suruh ambil gambar, dia ada tulis kat situ from Datuk Jega's wife. Macam tu. Dia ada wish from Datuk Jega's wife. Maksudnya waktu kita hantar bantuan ya. Okey, kemudian next ada gambar lagi, ada beberapa gambar yang menarik. Next slide. Okey, ni ada gambar-gambar yang kita pergi, termasuk juga waktu tu dengan waktu tu kita menerima pelawaan daripada ahli parlimen Kuala Krai, Dr. Hatta Ramli waktu tu. Okey, next kemudian. Ini yang semua orang naik sampan kita nak menyeberang sungai yang besar.
This river got crocodile, I heard, is it?
mungkin ada crocodile. Buaya darat pun ada juga. Okay, kemudian next. Okay, and then kita ada juga ada program-program lain termasuk program DAS. Program DAS nanti akan diterangkan oleh Tai dalam dalam session seminar. Kita ada video juga. Kemudian next. Okay, next. Okay, lagi next. Okay, so overall mungkin saya nak conclude. Ini yang FGIS bawa. The element of Bangsa Malaysia, the nation of Malaysia. It is about how can we share the common values of a Malaysian society. Kita nak bawa, ni contoh kita ada dialog, kita ada Guprit ada dalam ni, kalau Guprit boleh share juga dengan kawan kita Nathan Tan daripada Projek Wawasan Rakyat. Kemudian juga Prof Suresh dengan Fahmi, dengan Nazri Kahar, dengan Awani. Awani banyak memberi limelight kepada FGIS untuk kita kongsi elemen perpaduan, untuk kita kongsi di peringkat masa, di peringkat media, apa yang kita buat. Jadi bila sebut tentang Bangsa Malaysia, dia bukan kita nak merendahkan bangsa-bangsa kita nak merendahkan bangsa Melayu, Cina, India, tapi kita nak cari apa common values yang boleh membentuk bangsa yang bersama. The shared common values yang boleh kita drive our society forward, yang boleh drive our nation forward. Jadi antaranya bantu kita bersama-sama membina masyarakat yang lebih baik, lebih sejahtera, masyarakat yang bermaruah, society with the dignity. So ini yang kita nak buat, bangsa Malaysia, the nation of Malaysia. Mungkin kalau Prof Suraj atau Fahmi nak jam juga program dengan media-media yang kita buat konsisten, bawa elemen-elemen perpaduan.
Yeah. This is the AGM of ABIM where our Saudara Faisal talked about this Bangsa Malaysia.
Rahmat, Jaya here. You call me?
Yeah, that's why I mean now here. By now the TNB coming
Yeah. The TNB is here. Hold on. I'm actually on a call.
Okay. That was a word from our sponsor.
All the religions. All the religions are having a discussion again.
Thank you. Okay, go on to the next one.
Okay, so ini slide yang penghabisan lah untuk servis.
Okay.
Jadi saya serahkan kepada Fahmi dan Prof Suraj. Terima kasih semua. Kita mengharapkan kita terus subur. Brother Syarah kata 200 tahun. Mungkin insyaAllah. Terima kasih.
Thanks, Faisal. Thank you so much for highlighting to us on the service activities carried out. Very nice, different dimensions of service that involved all the religious groups. Thank you so much, Faisal. Thank you. So, a lot of memories, rich memories. Okay, next one. Fahmi, we have got the next one, next segment. Okay, next segment. Apa itu, Fahmi?
Saya rasa banyak lagi yang kita baru dengar satu. Saya sebutkan tadi ada lebih kurang 5 segmen. 5 segmen. Selepas ini kita akan pergi ke visiting religious places.
Okay itu dia. Ini ialah saudara Parthiban kan? Daripada Hindu Sewa Sangam. Ya, Parthiban kawan.
Hai. Waalaikumsalam. Salam sejahtera kepada semua. Okay. So visiting temple places of worship, which we always does, right? So what is special about visiting places of worship by FGIS? So let us go in and see how special it is. Okay, next slide, please. All right. Okay. So before I explain about this event, let me tell something about my background first, because this is very close to my heart. Whereby, okay, I just want to share with you all. When from the place where I grown up, okay, from my house to the main road where I supposed to take bus to go somewhere or take public transport to travel, I have to pass by a Gurudwara, a madrasa, and a church. And I still remember when I'm small, my grandma used to tell me, whenever we pass by any of those places of worship, to take a moment and make a prayer in the heart. So that practice continues to today. And I always wonder what is inside there. And even though in Malaysia we are, living in a masyarakat majmuk, tetapi peluang untuk kita memasuki serta menjelajah places of worship of other religion is we always wonder, can we do or shall we do or not? So I grown up in such mindset. But then when FGIS organized certain programs, okay, in certain programs in various occasions, we got a chance to visit many places of worships at different occasion, different location as well. All right. So particularly this picture here, it is, we can see there our brother Jacob is there, Tai is there, Fahmi not there, Fahmi not there. But then like another brother from ABIM also is there. So this is actually
there, right? He's holding the
wearing some
yeah. All right. So this program actually we are making a Bubur Lambo at Masjid Jami Kuala Lumpur. The Bubur Lambo we made, later part we distribute to all the people who comes there, and also continue with a discussion about like significance of berpuasa mengikut agama masing-masing. So that was very insightful, and the most exciting was we were take tour into the one of the oldest mosque in Malaysia, and like we were explained about the history of this mosque, and also like how a prayer conducted in the mosque. This really gave me a very good insight about how a prayer conduct in the mosque. I think like apart from that, this also give us a kind of like an eye-opening the concept of berbuka puasa, which is like not only like we break the fast, but also at the same time do some charity. So that is one thing we learn about in this visit to the mosque. Tai or Jacob, would you like to share something about this event?
So Parthiban, maybe the next slide, I think. You have the next
All right, next slide.
Yeah.
Okay, Iftar Muhibah, again, it is a Majlis Buka Puasa also, but this one is in a different place, Masjid Tuanku Mirzan, or else like also like popularly known as Iron Mosque of Putrajaya. It's a very beautiful mosque. Okay, there we had a iftar, and here if we notice, okay, it is also an outreach program whereby goodie bags of provisions given to many needy people there during this event. Next. Yes, this is another wonderful event whereby we from many different religion get together to do a prayer for the MH370, and this is also another eye-opening for me personally to understand that there is a differences of prayer in Islamic religion. And also like in that sense, we also have a common in many religion, like what in Islam there is like dua hajat. Same goes
Salat hajat.
Salat hajat.
Yeah.
So same like that, even in Hindus, we do have a prayer with some purpose, and we also understand that even in other religion, they do have such practices. These are the certain things which, instead of we looking at the differences, but we work on the ground of common interest or the unity among us.
Yeah.
And
wait 1 second. This event we went and buka puasa also, right? With the in the mosque, isn't it? This one? No. Did we buka puasa here?
This one is different because earlier there's a group of Malaysian who are conducting the such event, pray for MH370, pray for MH70. But of course there is we need to understand the sensitivity here in Malaysia. Biasanya kalau kita panggil semua orang untuk datang berdoa itu, kebiasaan kita akan takut terjatuh kepada tafsiran pluralism agama, sama rata agama. Ini isu-isu yang agak sensitif. Tapi di peringkat FGIS, saya rasa sensitivity itu kita faham. Dan saya rasa banyak kali Prof Suresh secara peribadi pun sebelum nak initiate apa-apa function program, Prof akan call dulu. Boleh ke tak? Saya bukan orang yang ahli untuk menjawab, tapi kadang-kadang saya rasa pertanyaan, panggilan daripada Prof tanya pada kami di peringkat ABIM, boleh ke nak buat ni? Boleh ke nak buat ni? Itu satu perkara yang saya fikir boleh menjaga soal sensitivity supaya kita punya tujuan yang baik tidak disalah tafsir. Kadang-kadang kita tak nak buat baik ada 10 kali, mungkin satu benda yang negatif, maka orang akan fokus pada yang negatif tu. Itu biasa kan? Betul. Jadi kita fokus yang baik ni lah.
Yes. So thank you Saudara Fahmi. And like moving on to next slide. Alright.
Wow.
So
no, the Chinese New Year that was what do we serve oranges? Wait, there's previous slides.
Yes. All right. Okay. This is actually one of our meetings. So FGIS, we have a practice of having our routine meetings. Every time we have it in a different places of worship, depending on the availability and also the organizer. So this particular meeting was held in Buddhist Mahavihara in Brickfields, and happened to be during the season of Chinese New Year. So we were all served with the mandarin oranges and some snacks in Buddhist Mahavihara. So we are all enjoying the mandarin orange there. So look at Fahmi, so excited taking the picture. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Datu Jaga is there also, Jacob, and
Piling is there.
Piling, yeah, Sister Piling is there as well. Yeah. So, and like now, what happened is because of the convenience for everyone, now we always having our meeting in Syrian church in Brickfields. I think Prof, we need to bring back this tradition, Prof.
Yeah, we have to have it in different places and maybe bring more food.
True.
Yeah.
Next slide, please. Yeah, this one. Okay, Majlis Iftar Muhibah FGIS 14. Okay, this one is another different iftar event happened in Masjid Putrajaya, and here one of the thing we I think masjid or another place whereby the Majlis Iftar was, the food served was vegetarian food, which is first of its kind, I would say, it's very unique, and that's really a heart-touching moment for me, because every time when we go for any functions, the vegetarian food is a kind of a difficult thing. But then when it comes to FGIS and associate, whatever event we do, there will be a vegetarian food made available to all the vegetarian friends. As such, but particularly in one of the event in the masjid, not just a portion of vegetarian food, but the whole event, the whole food in that event was vegetarian. And the imam was promoting vegetarianism in that event. That was really a good one. And this is practically how we make everyone to understand about other religion, or to in a simple words, I would say the mutual understanding of religion was created practically. Yeah. So next. As I mentioned earlier, so we do these visiting places of different worship places. It happens occasionally, not only during a particular event or not only iftar or something like that, but occasionally we do that. So here, this event, Fahmi, can you say something about this event?
This is basically in Masjid Negara.
Okay.
So the discussion was on discussion on puasa juga, basically land from the Christian perspective. Dan saya fikir bila sebut tentang masjid ni, saya dapat feedback juga sebenarnya daripada kawan-kawan kita yang bukan beragama Islam. Sebab hari-hari you all dengar azan, betul tak? I'm living here for more than 50 years, 17 years. I heard azan every day. Tapi kita kata tak tahu apa yang berlaku kat dalam. So basically bila kita bagi ruang, sebab kami di ABIM kita ada satu lagi grup khusus namanya kita sebut sebagai Islamic Outreach ABIM. So basically in most kita kata apa main masjid, let's say in Masjid Besi, Masjid Putrajaya, Masjid Jamek. So we have our own team who basically play a role as a most tour guide. Most tour guide ni basically of course kat Malaysia ni kalau masjid-masjid yang saya sebut yang tourist attraction ni basically kena ada someone yang can explain something related to masjid punya architecture, the understanding about Islam, misunderstanding whatnot. So the discussion was there. I think it's good for us to reduce the sensitivity, reduce the Islamophobia, and I think the discussion was brought.
Actually, Fahmi, actually, you're right, because the reason is, and we are very grateful to Angkatan Belia Islam Malaysia for opening the channel and opening the roads for non-Muslims to visit these places of worship. Because when we had feedback discussion after those visits, they could actually appreciate, because they cannot go in, they were not, not cannot, but they didn't get that opportunity to visit. So when you suddenly went inside that Besi Masjid, Masjid Besi tu, the architectural excellence, the space, the hugeness, the marvel of the carving and all that. I think those really caught, and some of the serenity of the place. And I remember one session where some of the non-Muslims also fasted the day, from morning to night, they fasted and they broke the fast with the Muslims in the mosque and then joined the. So, I think the idea is we are creating empathy. That's what it is, empathy, connectivity. That is what Semangat Malaysia is all about. It cannot be conceptualized. It cannot be debated. It cannot be discussed. It cannot be dialogued. It has to be experienced. And experience comes when we are learning how to, if you want to swim, there is no choice. You have to jump into the swimming pool. There are a lot of people got PhD on swimming, but they are allergic to water for what? No point what? You have PhD, the thesis begitu besar, tapi boleh berenang, tak boleh berenang. Jadi, tak ada pengalaman. Jadi, FGIS memberikan ahli-ahlinya peluang untuk swim and enjoy this beautiful love of unity that we have enjoyed. So, thank you so much, Angkatan Belia Islam.
Yeah, next. Next slide.
Hey, hold on. Let me just say something about this. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Dato.
There is a misconception that many have that Islam, does not allow non-Muslims to enter the mosques during the prayers, okay? But I had an incredible experience in Uzbekistan. In Uzbekistan, there is a mosque, the mosque of Al-Johari. Is it correct name, Al-Johari? Whoever my Muslim friends are. One of the authors of the hadith. The Quran is divided into two sections, okay? One is the Quran itself.
Imam Bukhari.
Imam Bukhari. One is the Quran itself, which is the words of Allah as conveyed through the holy to Angel Gabriel. The other is the hadith, which is the words of the Prophet. When he spoke, people recorded his words. So there are two separate issues here, okay? So there was this mosque in Uzbekistan, which is a mosque dedicated to this great author of the Al-Bahari, his name is, okay? So I went there with the UN team, which consisted of some Muslims and some few non-Muslims. So we went there, and there the beautiful mosque was there in Uzbekistan. And then the Imam of the mosque invited everyone to come and pray. So few people who are non-Muslims were not very nervous what to do, because should we go forward if they may chase us out, or we don't know what to do, okay? So we stood back, we about 4 or 5 of us stood back. And then as the Imam entered the mosque, he stopped and turned around and said, I would now like to invite all the non-Muslims to please join us for the prayer. Wow, that was a fantastic thing. Immediately I ran inside and sat there, and there's a photograph taken of me praying with all the Muslims, inside one of the most sacred places of Islam, which is the mosque of Al-Buhari. Okay, so it is not something that unusual that the Imam himself invited us to go in and sit down and pray. Okay, so this, in fact, even in the recorded histories, you'll find that the story of the head of Sikhism who went to Makkah, and there he was standing outside, and the priest there invited him to come into the hall and pray with the Muslims. So that tradition always been there. Somehow in Malaysia it has become a bit more sensitive. But now I'm glad that we have broken the tradition here in Malaysia, and we have set a sample of what we can do. So for example, I mean, you can go into anyone can go into a church or a Hindu temple and pray there, and no one will stop you. No one will ask you why you're praying. But in Islam, for time being, there's been because of some sensitivity, there's been some restriction. But we broke that particular restriction, and that is thanks to ABIM. And ABIM, if we can continue that at least once a month or twice a month, once in 2 months, get an interfaith group to go into a mosque, any mosque, and join and observe the prayer and just follow whatever the Muslims are doing, would be a very nice gesture.
Thanks. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Brother Jaga. Thank you, Dato.
Thank you, Dato. Yeah. So, I think the Iftar Muhibah we started also became a trend, other than FGIS, there are also many other organizations, they started to organize such events. I think Jakim Nagar, Jais Selangor, they also collaborate with ABIM and some other organizations. They also organize Iftar Muhibah, and also some other organizations. Okay, as such, now move on to Divine Wind, the poster you are looking at now. This is such a wonderful event and an experience. Okay, all this while we are talking about we go to mosque. Okay, here this event is so unique. What happened was all of us get into the bus, and then the whole day we take a detour to all different worship places. We went to Masjid Negara KL, we went to Buddhist Mahavihara, we went to the Syrian Orthodox Church, we went to the temple, and we also went to the Gurudwara. So that was a wonderful experience, and it's an exciting experience, I would say, because most of, I would say all of us who attended this program, that is the very first time we are entering into another worship place, I would say, especially to the Muslim brothers. They were so curious about many things, especially when they got to know about the meaning of symbols, and also the architecture, the engineering of the temple or church, and also the pictures and the posters inside the worship places. It is all something very exciting. So here I would like to invite one of our friends who joined us for this event, Miss Yuvanita. Are you there? Would you like to share your experience of going to mosque and temple?
Yeah, sure, Parthiban. Thank you. Okay. A little bit on background of myself. I have been growing up in a normal taman, which actually I'm very blessed to be in Malaysia because we have all this, all different religions, and all of us live together in harmony. So in the taman that I used to live way back in Port Klang last time, so we had people of all races and religions. And I used to follow my friends and neighbors there when they go to temple. So this is when I was in primary school. So the experience of it is, it was like a carnival, and I had fun when I went with them. But as I grew older, the realization came that the world doesn't revolve around me. I am a micro being in this universe. And I started to have this sense of awe whenever I pass by a place of worship. Just like Parthiban shared earlier, that he used to have this reverence when he passed by every different places of worship. It just came within me that every time I pass by a mosque or a temple or anything like that, I just have this realization, okay, this is a holy place. This is sacred space. So I and my family, we go to church. So apart from that, going to temple has become like something I do with my friend when I was in Form 6, because directly opposite our school was Perumal Temple. So it became like a ritual. Every morning we used to go there and she prayed. I would stand with her, taking in all that senses of the sight that I see, the smell, the sounds, the divine sounds. It was so calming first thing in the morning. So another experience of what I've had in a different place of worship apart from what I used to go is going to the mosque. When I was in Form 6, I had the experience of stepping into the mosque for the first time. We had a trip to Putrajaya. So, and we all forgot that we had to cover our hair. So someone had a scarf and they shared with us. So, because at that time, it was my first time inside a mosque. It was more like what Professor Suresh was telling earlier. I was in awe of the architecture and what I could see there and the space and all. And my another experience of going into a mosque would be when my cousin brother who embraced Islam, he died in 2017. So we as a family, most of us are Christians and some of us are Hindus. We all went into the mosque together with our Muslim friends and we had a short prayer session inside there. The experience was so calming and consoling. So that's so much about my experience of going into different places of worship. Thank you, Parthiban.
Thank you so much, Yuva. So, if we see, like every one of us, like we do have the desire to actually to find out what is happening in the different places of worship, how it is inside, how it would feel, and so on. But the thing is, like we don't have the avenue.
Yes, sir. Who's that?
Or the platform, or the occasion, or opportunity to do so. But then when it comes to FGIS, like every now and then we have this experience, even though we don't have any occasion or celebration or event, but then even to have our meetings, we are going to other places of worship. For instance, like recent time, like FGIS meetings always held in this Orthodox Syrian church, So it is an experience, a wonderful experience, I would say. And we being in Malaysia, multicultural, multi-race, multi-religious, need to have a mutual understanding, So the first step for us to achieve the Bangsa Malaysia, it should be the mutual understanding. And to have the mutual understanding, first we must accept the peaceful coexistence. I remember still, last time we always talk about, when we say about multi-religion, we say like religious tolerance. But then like tolerance means like we tolerate something. But then from that understanding or that mentality, now we have come to another phase of understanding whereby we accept to the coexistence, a peaceful coexistence. I would say this is something, a great achievement in our Malaysian towards to build the Bangsa Malaysia. All right. So next slide.
Parthiban and friends, just to add in on this exact same thing that we are talking about, right? The Divine Wind. I think one of the most powerful takeaways from Divine Wind 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 that we did, right, was not only the experience of going to the places of worship, but the conversations that we had an opportunity to learn about the religion from the leaders of the various places of worship. That was really amazing. That was the time where we really understood why is it that, you know, certain religious practices, certain traditional practices that are done. And only when you understand, you can appreciate. And when you appreciate is when you will be able to really cultivate love among the brotherhood that we are talking about. You know, and one good example is, you know, I in one of the divine means, I think it was 1.0, that I managed to understand the meaning of what do you call, I think is this, Fahmi, what is it called? The one where 72 hours when you travel, you can combine your prayers. Jama, right? So that's something I learned. And when I was traveling for work with my colleagues in Petronas back then, right, I understood and I recall the beautiful moment where we were traveling and all that. I remember carrying in my laptop bag the prayer mat, you know, for my Muslim colleague, right, and being able to help him do the prayer in the fabrication yard, which did not have a surau at that point of time, right, in Korea. So it is such a beautiful experience that I could do something because I understood the meaning of it. I could do something because I appreciated and respected the religion. Failing which, I'll be like, why the hell do you have to carry a mat, for God's sake? You know, the difference would have been there. But this divine mean, for an example, has given us such a beautiful experience to really understand the key teachings of the religions and really be able to appreciate them all together. So we hope that this can continue going on soon.
True. Yeah, thank you so much, Sunil. Exactly. So other than the experience itself, the learning process, it is also very important, and it take place eventually and naturally, you know. So that is the beauty of this event, and this was like widely covered in the mainstream media and newspaper and all that. All right, next slide. Yeah, so okay, next. So these are the pictures from the Divine Wind. Yeah, this is okay. This is a good experience in Gurudwara. All right, and I think we were served with mee goreng in Gurudwara at that day. Next. Yeah. Okay. This is another different event at I think this is Masjid Besi in Putrajaya, whereby okay, here we discuss about charity during bulan Ramadan, and here we distributed some goodie bags to Rohingyas and also some other like we call it golongan asnaf yang datang ke majlis tersebut. And Fahmi, you want to add on to this event anything? Yeah, is this the same thing like we had a saudara-saudara from Palestine?
Yeah, ada issues. At the same time, kita faham dan maklum kita di Malaysia ni sebenarnya concern dalam isu-isu yang berlaku di seluruh dunia. That's why ada masa dan ketika dalam program-program yang FGIS anjurkan, kita akan selitkan beberapa acara untuk kita bagi penerangan, pendedahan dan juga mungkin awareness kepada rakan-rakan kita daripada pelbagai agama. Saya fikir dalam beberapa program kita adakan juga sesi-sesi serahan bantuan kepada etnik komuniti yang tertindas. Contohnya kita ada bagi bantuan kepada etnik Rohingya. Malah waktu tu saya ingat lagi Datuk K. Daramatana waktu itu mengeluarkan sendiri duit cash dia untuk bagi kepada mereka yang terkesan yang kita kenal pasti, Rohingya, Syria, dan quite a few program yang kita buat. Saya remember dekat Masjid Besi when we invited our brothers from Palestine and they did explain about what happened there, current situation and whatnot. And suddenly, I think this is not like we discussed earlier, but after we heard the presentation, I think Datuk Jega, Prof. Suresh and whatnot, I think they agreed to pledge a certain amount of money to be distributed, to be given to the Palestinian cause. So this is like very touch program, but indeed it shows something that we in solidarity with other privileged, underprivileged group.
In fact, I want, brother, there's one other thing that happened that many of you don't know. We got a call from someone saying about what can we do to help the Palestinian problem, okay, some finance, some food or whatever they needed. So we were coming in the car heading towards, I think, the Iron Mosque. And we were in a few hours in the car and said, hey, they're asking for help. Why don't we do something? So all of us agreed. And immediately we started telephoning, we telephoned the Hindus, we telephoned the Buddhists, and the Christians. Hey, Christian church, how much can you offer? Hindus guy, how much can you offer? So on the phone, we managed to gather quite a considerable sum. I can't remember how much now. And then when they announced it, we gave that money, which was collected as we drove to the mosque, okay, for the Palestine cause. So it's a very spontaneous thing that happened, okay, and that was very nice. Just to share that experience.
Thank you, Dato. Thank you. Thank you, Fahmi. Thank you, Dato. Okay, next slide, please.
That's it.
Yeah, next.
No, that's it.
All right. So thank you so much. So by visiting different places of worship, so we can achieve so much, and understanding the religion, not only understanding the religion, but this is how kita memupuk semangat kebangsaan within all of us. So this is, I would say, a very first step for us to achieve the Bangsa Malaysia. So in days to come, years to come, I hope we will have more and more such activities so that we have a privilege to visit many other places of worship. So thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you, Parthiban. Thank you so much. Dear friends, we never realized that our memories of all these things really takes time to recall, and many people's experiences today really brings back a lot of good memories. I just want to say that the 1.5 hours have passed by. We didn't even notice that 1.5 hours have passed by. So may I suggest, Fahmi, kita cadangkan yang lagi there are 3 more presentations which we will keep for part 2. Sebab celebration must always continue, cannot end satu kali kan. Kita mesti sambung, and it's always nice if you can talk and then we sembang. Macam tu kita boleh recall back apa yang benar-benar berlaku dan apa yang pengalaman kita. So I cadang, we try and postpone, we try and have the part 2 of this celebration on another date in the same format, and that will keep all of us fresh and lively and maybe get more people to talk about it. In fact, we don't need to finish all of it, because what we want is people to talk about it, not people to, this is not a reporting format in which, oh, we did this, oh, look at how great we are. That's not the objective. The objective is that we want you to recall back, rekindle back the memories, and these are all flashes and glimpses of creating the Bangsa Malaysia that we would like to create that. I think that's our suggestion.
I agree with that. I think almost every one of us who are here, I think, agree on this. Maybe we can have 20 episode, Prof. 20 years,
Yeah.
Okay. This will be the first episode. Next will be another episode. But we need to decide when will be the suitable date and time for that. But I'm referring also to those audience who attended for our program. Someone raise hand also. Tapi nanti saya nak bagi juga ruang dan peluang kepada saudara Julfitri Johar. Ni juga orang sibuk kita. Belia paling sibuk di Malaysia ketika ini juga, saudara Julfitri Johar, untuk mungkin bercakap juga. Saya bagi juga nanti ruang kepada Reverend Phillips. Ini leaders kita lah. Kita nak dengar juga daripada kawan-kawan kita yang ada di sini untuk bercakap. Tapi sebelum tu, mungkin saya bagi sikit masa kepada saudara Muhammad Junalfi. Dia dah raise hand daripada tadi. Mungkin kita nak dengar sikit ada komentar daripada saudara. Silakan.
Saudara Junalfi. You should unmute.
Unmute.
Ya, unmute.
Your mic. You need to press the.
Okay, silakan.
Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Saya sangat bersetuju lah dengan apa cadangan yang diberikan oleh ABIM kan, tentang perpakatan golongan ni lah. Boleh dengar suara?
Boleh dengar. Mungkin boleh dekatkan lagi sikit.
saya merasa alhamdulillah dah bersyukur kerana golongan ni dapat membantu antara satu sama lain kan, dan dapat bersama, insyaAllah.
Junafi di mana sekarang ni?
Di Seremban.
Di Seremban. Sekarang ni ada mewakili apa-apa ke, bekerja sendiri ke, ataupun memang sedang mencari-cari?
Jepening.
Oh, Jepening. Oh, orang kawan kita pegawai di perpaduan.
Jabatan perpaduan.
Jabatan perpaduan.
Minta section mana? Section mana? Dekat ni.
Negeri Sembilan.
Negeri Sembilan.
Orang Nagari. Nanti kita turun ke negeri.
Bagus.
Terima kasih. Terima kasih. Nanti boleh tolong sampaikan mesej ni, panjangkan juga kepada menteri kalau boleh. Supaya dia nampak ini program yang kita buat ni tak ada formality. Cakap dengan prof yang ada kat sini pun santai-santai je. Cuma kita tunggu prof nanti untuk episod kedua, dia akan ada background sebab dia akan bagi masa untuk dia renovate rumah dia ataupun beli yang baru katanya. Okey, mungkin saudara Jufitri dulu. Saya bagi dulu pada saudara Jufitri untuk cakap sesuatu sebab saudara Jufitri ni orang yang saya dapat baton untuk pegang FGIS. Sebab dia dulu adalah merupakan
hold on, brother. Just one comment. One comment. One of the things that we should perhaps include in our next session is a recording of what happened when we met the religious leaders. Remember we met the Archbishop of the Catholic Church, which was a unique meeting with him. Then we met the head of the Islamic group, in the National Mosque.
Yeah.
Remember we met him there. So that'll be a nice recording of their reaction. If we can record their reaction to what the whole thing. So that's rather nice. So if we can do that, maybe something we can consider.
Boleh kita cuba usahakan. Kita tunggu
Fitri.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, you're supposed to say something lah.
Yeah. Terima kasih.
Just waiting for me to finish lah.
Yeah, wait for Datuk Jaga to finish.
Exactly. Thank you for waiting.
Okay.
Ya, Datuk. Already habis. Datuk Jaga
habis.
Nanti dia bangun, dia bawa iklan nanti. Terima kasih Fahmi, Faisal dan Prof, Datuk Jaga, Bang Syaran dan rakan-rakan sekalian. Saya ingat merupakan satu pengalaman yang menarik lah di FGIS, di mana sebenarnya saya bukan generasi pengasas, sebenarnya Abang Syahran yang merupakan generasi pengasas. Saya pun menerima baton daripada generasi sebelum kita pas kepada Fahmi. Tetapi apa yang paling menarik bagi saya, momen paling menarik adalah beberapa event-event seperti isu dan event sebagai contoh bila kita berhadapan dengan isu kalimah Allah. Ya, apabila kita berada dalam FGIS, kita boleh, saya ingat lagi the late Dr. John Guru Sami, dia kata ini perkara kecil kita boleh settle within our sphere and our space. So maknanya bila kita ada intact and permanent group macam ni, kita boleh solve many problem easily, even though that particular issue is very sensitive ataupun tabu di kalangan masyarakat Malaysia. Tapi bila kita dah ada satu good relationship, permanent and continuous relationship, maknanya segala problem sebenarnya kita boleh selesai easily dalam grup ini. Yang keduanya, saya ingat antara program yang paling menarik bagi saya lah dalam FGIS adalah program Interfaith Theatre dan Interfaith Orchestra. Yang itu kita boleh educate easily our young people with a very practical tools, very practical and interesting tools. Saya ingat ni idea Prof Shores dan FGIS yang very brilliant, yang kita perlu teruskan dan kita perlu promote, kerana kalau dalam kajian saya youth development, theatre ni among very efficacy tools dah untuk educate our young people with certain message and orang kata campaign. Jadi kita kena teruskan benda ni untuk generasi yang siap akan datang. Saya ingat waktu Interfaith Theatre tu kita present in front of freshies in Universiti Malaya. Ya, jadi maknanya waktu tu kita angkat tema Honouring Parent Every Day, maknanya menghormati ibu bapa setiap hari from different tradition and religious teaching. So it's very interesting. Saya ingat itu benda kita perlu ingat dan kita perlu teruskan, dan saya sebutkan tadi dia merupakan efficacy and interesting tools untuk educate our young people. The last thing yang saya nak share, last two thing yang saya nak share adalah saya yakin bahawa FGIS dia bukan sekadar retorik, bukan sekadar dialog, tapi dia very practical way untuk educate our masses tentang kepentingan untuk hidup bersama bukan saja hidup bersama tapi berkhidmat bersama-sama untuk masyarakat. And the last thing yang saya nak sebut pada pagi ini adalah saya rasa very appreciate hubungan saya dengan Prof Suresh, dengan Datuk Jega, especially saya tak jumpa Datuk seperti Datuk Jega yang Datuk old people, very influential people tapi very funny dan boleh get along dengan young people macam saya waktu tu. Ya, jadi saya really appreciate dan saya sentiasa ingat Datuk Jega sehingga sekarang dengan lawak-lawaknya, dengan gaya-gayanya sekali saya still ingat. Dan sekarang bila saya memimpin Majlis Belia Malaysia, I have don't any problem because I used to get mingle around with multi-religious youth and society. Terima kasih.
Thank you for the nice words. Just one same thought I want to share with you, brother. Can all hear? Boleh dengar? Okay. There's one thought. I think the idea you mentioned just now about honoring parents is something we must do in a more serious way within the FGIS, okay? Because this now there's a society is now going to the dogs, okay? There's no respect for parents, no respect for father, mother, And I mentioned this to other people earlier, and we did something in a small way. We call it the Hope Agenda, HOPE, honor our parents every day. So if we can launch this Hope Agenda, honoring, and we have done this in other countries, by the way. The Hope Agenda was launched in Canada, in USA,
Jega?
Frozen, he's frozen.
I think Dato' Jega got disconnected. Just to add on, on what Dato' is saying, I think we did a fantastic program when 9th of March. Yeah.
It can be through draft. Yeah. So what I'm saying is we should have it as maybe an annual program,
Continuous, yeah.
And not only in Kuala Lumpur, but take the Hope Agenda to every state, okay? So that everyone can appreciate the common theme that we are trying to promote this. So that's something I'm sure everybody will support, okay? But no one is looking at that seriously now. Okay, everybody is focusing on the youth behavior, their drug addiction, this and the other. But no one is talking about the love and respect they have for parents. That will guide them along the proper path. So if we can focus on that, that'll be a very nice thing. The Hope Agenda. Okay, thank you. God bless.
Okay, thank you, Dato' Fahmi. Anything else? Any other thing?
Saya mungkin kita bagi sikit ruang sebelum kita akhiri sesi kita hari ini, tengah hari ini. Saya bagi ruang kepada Reverend Father Felix Thomas.
Father, how was today's session, Father?
Amit.
Okay, very good session. Just walking down memory lane and rekindling all our experiences. See, the FGIS, it's actually cannot be described. One has to journey with us to understand it. It has a multifaceted, dimensional experience. It is an experience that is very important. And as Professor Suresh said, the focus is on the experience. And this experience is the building block of Bangsa Malaysia, I believe. What is holding us together is not any formal structure. One would not believe that we don't have a formal structure in FGIS. But what is holding us together is our desire and our spirit. And only with that can we build a community. And what holds us together is the desire and the spirit to promote human values, which is basis for all our religions. At the same time, the humanness supersedes everything else. You see? And I think this is a beautiful journey. What we have experienced is really beautiful, and I think we have a lot to offer. For Malaysia in terms of building Bangsa Malaysia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you so much. Thank you. Father support also all the time, everywhere. He'll always be there with a smiling face, and he always use your premise also for the meetings. Thank you so much for the support.
Terima kasih, Father Philips. Jadi, seperti yang saya sebutkan tadi, saya rasa kita bersetuju untuk kita habiskan dulu. Kita ada lagi 3 sesi sebenarnya. Tadi yang kita baru selesai sesi 2 yang utama, tapi kalau masuk Prof Suresh punya sesi pun sesi 3 jugalah. So kita boleh teruskan nanti untuk episod yang seterusnya. Tapi pada masa sama, tuan-tuan, rakan-rakan yang saya hormati sekalian, sesi kita direkod, boleh tengok di live Facebook page masing-masing, di YouTube juga kita ada, untuk mungkin lepas ni nak lihat kembali apa yang boleh dikongsikan, ataupun mereka yang mungkin nak tahu nanti kemudiannya. Saya tadi Jufitri ada sebut tentang orkestra, performance, kita ada drama punya ni pun ada. Jadi nak tahu itu kena nantikan untuk sesi yang seterusnya. Jadi saya ucapkan terima kasih pada semua. Saya ucapkan terima kasih pada mereka yang hadir pada hari ini. Prof Suresh juga mungkin ada kata-kata akhir.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for being with us and patiently traveling with us on this journey. We hope that we'll see you on the part 2 of the celebration, 20 years of friendship, and we hope this friendship will continue for not 40, 50, 60, maybe 100 more years. Thank you all. Sehingga kita berjumpa lagi. Terima kasih.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Jumpa lagi.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih semua.